Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And you know, during the holiday season, it's very important for us to think about our own safety and certainly the safety of other people out there. The people who are helping us and watching us do that over at Thibodaux Police Department, Lieutenant Clint Dempster. Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Public Information Officer, always glad to come and share information with us. Let's just talk about some of those holiday tips that people need to kind of keep in mind this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, it's a busy time for us, a busy time for everyone.
Right.
Thibodaux, for the most part, is a smaller town, but especially during this time of year, you see how much influx in traffic you have, not only on a regular business day, but especially during the holidays. So, you know, we have different message boards that we put out. Bayou Signs helps us out with that, just allowing us to reach the public and remind them, you know, to don't drink and drive. You know, the distracted driving, impaired driving costs lives.
Right.
You know, help us help you. You know, some of the hashtag messages we have going around.
Right.
And again, we try to strive to make the public understand that.
Right.
We put out different press releases. We are going through a wave right now for drive sober and get pulled over from Louisiana Highway Safety Commission.
Right.
So just wait any way we can get the word out.
Right. And again, one of those things with extra cars, you know, right down the street from your location at Thibodaux Police Department, we've got the roundabout that's being done. You know, we've got one lane coming and going both sides. We got to make sure that we're careful in those areas and just know that it's going to be backed up there.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. It's kind of tricky at times. You know, you got to be paying attention.
Right.
You have to merge into that one lane. But we just ask the motorists to just pay attention, take your time, don't be in a rush,
right,
and pay attention to the other motorists.
Yeah, and so people, again, that's going to mean that a lot of people are avoiding that area. That just means on both the east and west sides of that, we're seeing a lot more traffic kind of going through as people are going and getting to the northern side of the city there.
Yeah.
You know, that's where a lot of the shopping is taking place. It's a lot of where some of the bigger places are, you know, right there across the bayou, people coming and going from Rouse's. All of those things mean that people are kind of moving around. It's important to be able to just make a good plan about where you're going and leave early.
Yep, leave early. Obviously, we're limited to bridges that cross the bayou.
Correct.
To get to the north end.
Right.
So, like you mentioned, North Canal is one of our busier areas for shopping centers. But if you are trying to get back and forth across the bayou, just, you know, be patient. Canal does back up at times.
Right.
It's more of your busier intersection, your busier bridge. So, just like I said, we ask that everybody take the time and just be patient during the holiday season.
Yeah, and with people coming in, you know, Thibodaux is one of those areas where we know that, you know, with school there, even though school is out at Nichols, and some of the schools, the high school and junior high schools are out, we got a lot of people coming in back into town for family. Let's talk about those holiday parties and things that people can do to just be smart.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, you know, the most important thing is to either find a sober driver or just don't make plans not to drink. And if you do make plans to drink, find an alternate way to get home, whether it's an Uber. I know we kind of limited in our area with Ubers and taxis, but, you know, find a sober driver, make that extra step to find an alternate plan before you even go out drinking or, you know, and like I said, you know, we see it a lot this time of year too. It's people, you know, on different kinds of medication. You know, there's some things to remember too. There's certain medications that you can't drive with. Right. You know,
and certain medications you can't mix with alcohol.
Absolutely. And another big thing is with the heavy traffic like we have is distracted driving, texting and driving, just simply looking at your phone. You know, please pay attention. You know, you would be amazed how many traffic accidents happen and occur because of people being distracted.
You know, Clint, driving here today, I stopped an accident by hitting my horn for someone who was distracted, who started to go at a stop sign when it wasn't their turn or their right of way, if you will. And I stopped that, and I thought about that, knowing you were coming on. It was one of those things. Let's help each other, right? Yeah. The other way we can help each other is that if you're a business, and I know a business that's doing this, they have hired a van to actually drive people to and from their Christmas party.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their 30th
Look,
anniversary.
that's very smart, and you bring up a good point. Christmas parties are are a thing this time of year.
Yep.
You know, that's a especially during the weekend, even during the weekdays.
Right.
Though, even during the weekdays. So if you and your friends could get together, or the company could get together and find, you know, to where everyone can carpool in one vehicle with a sober driver. I mean, obviously that's the way to go.
Right, absolutely. And just trying to find a way to make people safer. You want to make sure you're safe. And we don't always think about it, but we talk about these graphics sometimes where people can actually change the lives of other people by one bad decision.
Absolutely. And a lot of times, unfortunately, until you're directly affected by it, you don't realize how much of an impact something like that is on someone.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know, you as a person are never impacted by it, but you don't want other people to be impacted either.
Correct. Yeah, and just one of those things that we know that's affected some people their whole life. You know, if you make a bad decision and somebody gets injured or heaven forbid, somebody gets killed during a holiday season, then you kind of got to live with that the rest of your life. And we know that there's some things that are terrible, terrible reminders for people and events.
Absolutely. Again, like you said, you know, just to reiterate that's something that you do not want to live with on your conscience for the rest of your life. And there's some severe consequences behind it,
right?
You know, and a lot of people, by the time they realize that it's too late, it's too late. And you know, so just learn from other people's mistakes and adhere to the warnings that we're given and the signs that we're putting out for everyone, you know, to be cautious and just as a reminder, a simple reminder.
I love it. Lieutenant Dempsey, we appreciate what you do. Thank you for everybody at Thibodeau Police Department, and we're going to have a much safer holiday with these recommendations.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, my friend. All right. That'll do it for this particular segment. Don't go anywhere. A lot more Bayou time when we continue.